back to the YouTube channel. I'm Pro Enzo Viz, and this is my round 8 tips for round 8 of the NRL for 2022. Yeah, look, I think coming to this round, I obviously had a pretty bad week with my tips. Unfortunately, got 5 out of 8, I'm pretty sure. So, like to think I'll go better this week in terms of tipping and that. So, yeah, 5 out of 8, definitely could do a lot better. So hopefully I get some more right ones this week. But yeah, look, in general, this should be a good round of footy. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'll be going to one of the games this weekend. I'll be going to Manly and Rabbitohs on Friday. So that should be a good game to go to at Gosford. So, and yeah, pretty much why I'm going is because it's my birthday weekend. So this Saturday is my birthday. So basically just going to go to that Manly game as some sort of present. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Whether we win or lose, just hope, the boys turn up and play well. That's what I hope for, at least. So, yeah, no, it should be a good week of football. But, yeah, everyone, I guess, yeah, this is my round 8 tips for 2022. Looking forward to the round ahead. Looking at some games quickly. Manly South obviously will be a big one. Thursday night, Broncos and Sharks might go all right as well. Dragons Tigers might be a really good game on Sunday. Like, I never thought coming into 2022, I would say that Dragons and Tigers might be game of the round, because how both teams are going, both teams have won 2 in a row, aiming to go for 3 in a row. So what team does that, the wait and see, but I am looking forward to the game up ahead. But everyone, this is my round 8 tips for 2022. So first game is Sharks and the Broncos at Suncorp. Yeah, so the first game on the Thursday, like I said, it is the Broncos and the Sharks at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Looking at both sides, Broncos have named the same 17 as their win against the Bulldogs last Friday. Again, T. Murray Martin will stay a fullback, which is good. Looking at the Sharks team, they've named the same 17 as well. So Finucane actually returns and McInnes goes back to the bench. So and Finucane's Wayne Graham is listed in reserves as a possible player to return. My tip, I think Sharks will be a bit too good. I think based on form right now, the Sharks are really playing good footy. They they just think hit another level this year in terms of form. So I think they'll be way too good for the Broncos on Thursday. So I'll go the Sharks by about 10 points, I reckon. Sharks by 10, and I think Talakai will score any time like he did last week. All right, on the Friday now, we've got the Titans and the Panthers at Seabar Super Stadium at 6 p.m. So the first game of 2 on the Friday fixture. Obviously, looking at how the Titans have lined up, they like to bounce back after a couple of losses in a row. They've been in the games, but they haven't been winning the games. So this is a very interesting game for Titans, because no one's giving them a chance, and I'm not really giving them a chance either to win. But they need somehow show a bit of pride and a bit more than what they have been offering the past couple of weeks, if you know what I mean. Looking at Titans team now, Brimson is taking over from Asako at fullback. So Brimson starts at fullback. Will Smith goes to 5'8". Philip Sammy is back on the wing, with Patrick Herbert returning to the centres and for feedback to the back row, which I expected to happen anyway. Kevin Proctor goes to the bench, Jarrod Wallace to the reserves, and Malaki Fodawaker is named at prop to start, with Jamin Jolliffe out with a calf injury. Tanner Boyd and Herman SCSC on the bench. Jane Campbell Ribs is listed in reserve, so maybe he could be a late inclusion at the wait and see. As for Penrith, Sonny Luke keeps his place on the bench as jersey 14, which I'm happy with as well. And Brian Toto is in reserves as well. He could be a late inclusion, but he is expected to come back next week. So that's the team right there for both Titans and Penrith. Who am I tipping? Look, I'm not going to get into this one too much, but I think Penrith win easy. Penrith 13 plus. I'll go Penrith by about 22. Should be way too good for the Titans on Friday. And I believe Taylor May will get a double. All right. On the Friday, the main game, Rabbitohs versus Manly at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford. 7:55 p.m. Okay. Now, this game means a lot to me for many reasons. The next day is my birthday. Going to this game to see a good friend entertain house as well. Obviously, my other mate, CJ Moxley, as we know, already couldn't go, which is unfortunate, but next time. But look, it's a big game, because I want us to finally win a game. I want us to finally, get a win, like finally win a game as in being a bigger sort of side, because I consider South a big name team still, even though they're sitting 8th from the ladder. I want Manly to prove to people that they can beat bigger sides, I don't want to be known as this flat track bully shit. I don't want to be known as that. I want to be known as a team that can beat bigger sides and not beat the mediocre sort of mid-range sides, you know what I mean? I'll be there, so I'm hoping I can see Manly win their 4th straight game with me being in attendance, you know? So I really hope that they can win. I hope so. I hope so. You know, it would be a very good birthday present if they won this Friday. So just gonna get fingers crossed we can win. Fingers crossed. I mean, if we lose, we lose. But I have a feeling the boys will turn up and definitely put in some sort of performance after what they dished up last week. So sorry for the bit of the taking up of time there. But anyway, getting to both teams. Look at South's team. Tane Milne is out with suspension, so Isaiah Tass starts in the centres, and Jacob Host is out with a shoulder injury, so Havili joins the bench. As for Manly, Martin Tapau and Sean Kepi are both back from COVID and a head knock, so they both start in the front row, with Davey out with a shoulder, and Taufafala simply moves to the bench. Olakawatu, Paseka are both out as well, so Ben Trebojevic and DeLewis come on the bench to replace them, and Ethan Bullimore moves from the bench to the starting back row, with Carl Lawton starting the back row as well. And the interesting one is that Tolu Kula starts in the centres with Morgan Harper being dropped. And yeah, I would have expected that, unfortunately. After the Harper's game last week, I think it's best that for the team going forward that the Kula starts for the time being. But yeah, that's the teams right there. But my tip for this game, look, I was tipping South. So I was tipping South at first. I was like, you know, I think South will be way too strong, and I think they will have the team to win. But I look in the reserves, right? I look in the reserves, and I see Josh Schuster. I see the name Josh Schuster there. And Dylan Walker's been named as a jersey 14. Now, here's my theory. I'm not confident Walker's going to play. I feel like Walker's going to drop out because of his knee, and Josh Schuster will come on the bench, or he might move to the starting lineup, Schuster, and Carl Lawton might come to the bench as a jersey 14, replacing Walker. That was what I'm predicting right there. Either way, despite that, because I am confident Schuster will play, but despite that, I will tip Manly to win. I will tip Manly to win. If we lose this game, I'm not tipping us against any big name side ever again, or for the rest of the year. Put it that way. If we lose to South, I'm not tipping us against any big side at all this year, because this is the last time I'm really going to back the boys against a bigger side like South. If we lose, we lose, and I'm not going to be happy, obviously. But look, Souths are a good side, so we need to be at our A game, the best way to put it. But look, I'm trusting the boys to win. I am going to tip Manly by 4 points. I think 4 points will get the job done. I think it'll be a very close game. I think DC and Foran will both turn on. And I think Ruben Garrix has been having a solid performance at fullback with Tom being out. So I think he'll score a try, Garrick, as well. So come on, boys. Manly by 4. Moving on to Super Saturday of the NRL. It is play on my birthday. So I got nice 3 games on my birthday. Warriors, Raiders, Roosters, Bulldogs, and Eels and Cowboys all play on my birthday. So hopefully they're all good games, and yeah, I'll be watching them all. So hopefully it's a good birthday in terms of the game quality, you know. But yeah, look at the Warriors, Raiders sides at Moreton Daily Stadium at Redcliffe. Warriors, they want to bounce back after Monday's performance. I mean, 70 fucking points. I just cannot believe it still. I mean, you cannot say that's all right conceding that much in a game, because that's what reserve grade would usually cop 70 points, not first grade. But look, in saying that, you'd expect that they would come back, the Warriors, after that performance. And looking at the Raiders, they haven't been any better. They're 15th from the ladder, and they're obviously in better form as well. So both teams you think would want to bounce back. Looking at Warriors team though, Watini's Lelasianak's out for concussion, Josh Curran's out for the knee, and Aaron Panna's out for suspension. So they're all out for the Warriors, and Edward Cossey's been dropped. So replacing Cossey on the wing is Viliami Valia. Rockaberry replaces Watini's Lelasianak on the wing. Replacing Josh Curran, I believe it is Bailey Sirinen who starts in the back row, and Elias Katoa and Jack Merch join the bench. And yeah, Aaron Panna is out, so that means I think Katoa is his replacement. As for the Raiders, Elliot Whitehead's back with he got a really terrible lip injury. I don't want to talk about the image again that I saw, but yeah, he's back starting the back row, and Harry Rushton is the person to make way for Whitehead's return. Alright, my tip for this game. Look, this is so hard to tip. I mean, you can go either way. But you know what? I'm going to tip the Warriors here. I look like an actual idiot if they lose the Warriors, but because it's at Moreton Daily Stadium, they've been playing there a little bit longer than what the Raiders have, and I just feel like they will respond in a big way after their loss on Monday. If they lose again, then I look like a fucking idiot. Like that's just dead set how I would look. But I don't know. I just think Warriors will get the win. Canberra are in all sorts at the moment. I can't trust Canberra. I had so much high raps in them coming into this year, but they've failed to sort of deliver anyway. So, yeah, I think Warriors will get the win here. I think they'll be a little bit too good. So, Warriors by 2, but going into this game with no confidence though. All right, on to the next game. It is the Roosters and the Bulldogs at Accor Stadium at 5:30 p.m. Look, I'm going to keep this nice and short. I think the Roosters will be way too good. I'm that confident that they'll beat the Bulldogs. I know Bulldogs have got Brent Naden and got a couple of others back from COVID, but look, I think Roosters will bounce back after their loss on Monday to the Dragons. I think Roosters will win well by 13 plus, by 14, I should say. Yeah, so Roosters will win easy, I reckon. On to the very last game of Super Saturday. It is the Eels and the Cowboys at TIO Stadium in Darwin. So they do take this traditional game to Darwin every year, the Eels and the Cowboys, which I don't mind personally. It's mutual territory, but obviously it's more near the Cowboys sort of area, up North Queensland way. So, but yeah, no, it should be a good game. Both teams are in really good form at the moment. Obviously, Parramatta are in the top 4, and Cowboys, well, they're really flying this year. I was actually surprised with how well they're going. So I'm very wrong about the Cowboys, so we'll see how they go. This is one of the biggest tests, I reckon, up against the biggest side. But yeah, looking at both sides, Eels are unchanged after their win against Knights. Still the round starts in the centres again, which is very interesting. And yeah, the Cowboys are the exact same. They've got no changes either. They've got no changes, but they are saying that Ruben Cotter and Tom Gilbert are a chance of starting over Colin Hess and Harlan Lukey, though, apparently. But yeah, my tip for this game, I want to tip the Cowboys. I want to tip the Cowboys because we've already seen a couple of upsets so far this year. And I feel like this is one where it could happen again. But I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to tip Parramatta by about 8 points. I think they will be a bit too strong. I think Moses will kick them to victory. Gufferson will play well. And I think they just beat the Cowboys in some other positions as well. So I think the Cowboys will be brave. But I think Parramatta will be a bit too strong. So I will go Parramatta by 8. But nothing in it though. All right, starting on the Sunday now, it is Knights and the Storm at McDonald Jones Stadium up in Newcastle. So looking at both Knights and the Storm's recent form, Knights haven't been really good at all. I mean, I was talking about this on the Ankle Breaker podcast yesterday about how the Knights have been going. They have been really going shocking, I don't know how a team can start the year 2-0 and be 2-5 all of a sudden. So there's some things wrong there. As for Melbourne, well, Melbourne they're currently sitting where they are expected to be, but they currently have no issues at all, which is typical Melbourne. Never have any issues, never have anything to worry about when they head into a game. So yeah, Storm are very, very, very lucky to be where they are, but it's well deserved. Look at the teams though. Knights have Dane Gagai out for this week with a fractured cheekbone, and Simi Sasagi replaces him in the centres. Brodie Jones has been named despite concerns with his elbow, and Swicer Sue is a new man on the bench. As for Melbourne, Melbourne have no real changes apart from Remus Smith. There's no changes actually for Melbourne, but just some injury concerns regarding Remus Smith, and that's about it. All right, well, look, in this game, I will tip Melbourne to win. I think Melbourne will be too good for the Knights on the Sunday. I think Knights will win, not Knights, Storm will win 13 plus, and yeah, it should be a very ugly result for Newcastle, unfortunately. So Storm should be too good, and they'll continue that winning streak of theirs. And now the final game of round 8, it is the Dragons versus the Tigers on the last game of the round, Sunday. Winter Stadium in Wollongong at 4:05 p.m. So looking at both sides, the Dragons to start off with, they've got no real changes. Oh, yes, they do, sorry. Maguire starts to sue over the ankle injury. But Jack Bird, even though he had an arm injury, he's still been named to play at 5'8", but will be tested during the week if he's good to go. Tyro Firmino joins the bench, and Cody Ramsey and Tyro Sloan are among the reserves. As for Tigers, they got a couple of changes. So Dane Laurie did his MCL, obviously, so he'll be out for a couple of weeks with Stafford Toa staying at fullback. Oliver Gilda and Luke Garner are the centres, with Kelma Tulangi returning to the back row, and Alex Sayafar shifts to the bench with Jake Simpkin with an ankle injury, as is the 18th man, with Jacob Will keeping his spot at hooker. Look, who am I going to tip? This is a very tough game. I never thought saying a game like this year between the Tigers and Dragons would be a very tough game to pick and another good game to pick, because I never thought that these two teams would have this much hype as they did. This is probably, you know what? This is probably the most hype these two sides have had when they played each other since the 2010 preliminary final. Like, honestly, I can't even think of another game where they had this much hype and this much excitement. But look, despite all that, I reckon at home, we'll look on the Dragons. The Dragons fans will win. The Dragons fans will get behind the Dragons, and the Dragons will win. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, all over the place at the moment. But yeah, Dragons to win, I reckon, by about 6 points, and I think Sully will get a try any time. But everyone, that's my round 8 tips of the NRL. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the very next video.